Hello, everyone. Before we start, I think it's a fun idea if you let me know where you're listening from. Thanks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get comfortable and begin. The studio lights are blinding, and the air is thick with tension. I'm sitting in the audience of a popular TV show, my heart pounding like a drum. My brother-in-law, Tom, is in the hot seat, hooked up to a lie detector. The host is grilling him about his fidelity to my sister Jane. I can feel the weight of the moment pressing down on me. I'm Alex, a 35-year-old IT professional. On the surface, my life seems perfect. I'm married to Sarah, and we have two beautiful kids. We've been together for 10 years. We've had our ups and downs, but I thought we were solid. My relationship with my sister Jane and her husband Tom has always been close. Tom and I often hang out, and our kids play together. Today, though, everything feels off. As the lie detector test progresses, the tension in the studio grows. Tom looks nervous, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. I can't shake the feeling that something terrible is about to happen. The host presses Tom on a recent rumor, asking if he's ever cheated on Jane. Tom hesitates and my stomach churns. The silence stretches on, and then Tom speaks. "I haven't cheated on Jane," Tom says, his voice trembling. The polygraph shows he's telling the truth, and a collective sigh of relief fills the room. But then Tom's expression changes. He looks directly at me, his eyes filled with a mix of guilt and fear. "But there's something I need to confess." My heart stops. The air feels electric, charged with anticipation. Tom's next words hit me like a freight train. "I could be the father of Alex's kids." The studio erupts into chaos. My vision narrows, my pulse racing. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Tom's words echo in my head, each syllable a dagger to my heart. Without thinking, I leap out of my seat and charge towards him. My fist connects with his jaw in a powerful uppercut. Tom crumples to the ground, and security rushes in, pulling me away. Backstage, the world spins around me. My thoughts are a jumbled mess. Betrayal, anger, and confusion swirl together, threatening to overwhelm me. I see Sarah in the corner of the room, her face pale and eyes wide with fear. I march over to her, my blood boiling. "Is it true?" I demand, my voice shaking with rage. "Did you cheat on me with Tom?" Sarah breaks down, tears streaming down her face. She nods, barely able to speak. "Yes," she whispers. "I'm so sorry, Alex. I I didn't know how to tell you." My heart shatters. The woman I've loved for a decade, the mother of my children, has betrayed me in the worst possible way. I can't breathe. The walls close in, and I need to get out of there. I turn and walk away, leaving Sarah sobbing on the floor. Everything seemed ordinary this morning, but now my life is in ruins. I stumble out of the studio, my mind racing. I need answers. I need to know the truth about my children. As I step into the cold night air, I realize that nothing will ever be the same again. The studio's chaos spills into the hallways as I'm dragged away by security. My mind races, struggling to process Tom's bombshell confession. I can barely hear the shouting behind me, the ringing in my ears, drowning everything out. My life is crumbling, and I don't know how to stop it. In the backstage room, I find Sarah huddled in a corner, her face streaked with tears. Anger and betrayal boil within me. I rush towards her, my voice breaking. "Is it true? Did you cheat on me with Tom?" Sarah's eyes widen with fear and guilt. She nods slowly, her voice barely a whisper. "Yes, Alex, I'm so sorry. I didn't know how to tell you." Her words hit me like a freight train. My fists clench, every muscle in my body screaming for release. "How could you do this to us? To our kids?" I shout, the rage palpable. Sarah sobs, her body shaking. "It was a mistake, Alex. A horrible mistake. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant for it to go this far." I feel my world spinning out of control. I turn away from her, my chest heaving. "And the kids, are they even mine?" I demand, my voice cracking. She breaks down completely, her sobs filling the room. "I don't know, Alex. I don't know." The room feels like it's closing in on me. I can't breathe. I need to get out. Without another word, I storm out of the studio, leaving Sarah's cries behind me. Outside, the cold air hits me like a slap in the face. I lean against the wall, gasping for breath, my mind reeling from the betrayal. As I stand there, the realization hits me. I need to know the truth. I need a DNA test. I pull out my phone and start making calls. The urgency propels me forward, even as the world around me feels like it's falling apart. The next few days are a blur. I arrange for the DNA tests, pushing through the pain and confusion. I barely speak to Sarah, and when I do, it's tense and filled with anger. We avoid each other as much as possible, the silence between us heavy with unspoken words. One evening, after putting the kids to bed, I confront Sarah again. This time the atmosphere is charged with a different kind of tension. "We need to talk," I say, my voice barely above a whisper. Sarah looks at me with red-rimmed eyes. "I know." We sit on opposite ends of the couch, the distance between us feeling like a chasm. "How long?" I ask, the question hanging in the air. Sarah takes a deep breath. "About a year. It started after that big fight we had. I felt so alone, and Tom was there." Her words cut deep, each one a reminder of how far we've fallen. "And the STD?" I ask, my voice trembling with barely restrained fury. Sarah looks away, shame coloring her cheeks. "Tom gave it to me. I got tested and found out a month ago. I I thought I was protecting you by not telling you." The betrayal deepens. "So not only did you cheat on me, you also put my health at risk?" She nods, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry, Alex. I didn't know how to tell you." I feel a cold, hard knot in my stomach. "You should have told me the moment you found out," I say, my voice cold. The next morning I go to the clinic for testing. The wait is agonizing, every minute stretching into an eternity. My thoughts race, alternating between anger and despair. I can't believe this is my life now. I can't believe Sarah, the woman I trusted with everything, could do this to me. A week later, the DNA test results come in. I sit at the kitchen table, the envelope in my hands shaking. Sarah sits across from me, her eyes puffy and red. I open the envelope, my heart pounding in my chest. The first child, our eldest, is mine. Relief washes over me for a moment, but the second result shatters any solace I might have found. Our youngest is Tom's. The devastation is total. I look at Sarah, my vision blurred by tears. "One of them isn't mine," I say, my voice hollow. Sarah sobs, her face buried in her hands. "I'm so sorry, Alex. I never wanted this to happen." The anger surges back, hotter than before. "You destroyed us," I spit out. "How do we even begin to fix this?" Days pass in a haze of legal consultations and painful conversations. I meet with a lawyer to discuss custody and divorce. Each step feels like ripping off a bandage, exposing raw wounds. I try to stay strong for the kids, but every time I look at our youngest, I'm reminded of the betrayal. One evening, Jane calls me. Her voice is tense. "I confronted Tom," she says. "He admitted everything. We're separating." Her words are a bitter consolation. Our families are falling apart. The media gets wind of the scandal, turning our private hell into a public spectacle. I can't go anywhere without seeing our names splashed across headlines. I shield the kids as best as I can, but the damage is done. Sarah and I have another confrontation. This time, it's about the kids and how we move forward. "I want a divorce," I say, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside me. Sarah nods, tears streaming down her face. "I understand. But what about the kids? How do we explain this to them?" "We tell them the truth," I reply. "They deserve to know, and we need to figure out how to co-parent them without destroying their lives." The days that follow are filled with tense negotiations. We meet with a mediator to discuss custody. I fight for primary custody, not wanting to lose my children despite the pain. Sarah agrees, knowing she has little ground to stand on. We set up a co-parenting plan, each step a reminder of what we've lost. I move into a small apartment nearby, the silence a stark contrast to the life I once knew. I focus on creating a stable environment for the kids when they're with me. We find a new rhythm, though the pain of betrayal lingers. I start therapy, trying to make sense of the chaos. The therapist helps me navigate the anger and grief, slowly rebuilding my sense of self. Each session is a step towards healing, though the journey feels endless. One evening after the kids are asleep, I sit alone in the apartment. The quiet is heavy, filled with memories of happier times. I know I need to keep moving forward, for my sake and for the kids. But the weight of the betrayal is always there, a shadow that refuses to lift. As the weeks turn into months, I start to see a path forward. It's not easy and the pain is still fresh, but I find moments of hope. The bond with my kids grows stronger, a source of light in the darkness. I start to see a future beyond the betrayal, one where I can rebuild my life. Sarah and I have a tentative truce. We navigate co-parenting with careful steps, trying to avoid further harm. The trust is gone, but we manage for the sake of the children. I focus on being the best father I can be, channeling my energy into their happiness. One day Jane calls me. Her voice is softer, more at peace. Tom and I are finalizing our separation, she says. It's been hard, but I think it's for the best. We talk for a while, sharing our pain and hopes for the future. The conversation is a reminder that we're not alone in this. Our families are broken, but we're finding ways to heal. As I hang up the phone, I feel a sense of closure. The journey isn't over, but I've taken the first steps towards reclaiming my life. The future is uncertain, but I face it with renewed determination. The nightmare isn't over, but I'm ready to fight for a better tomorrow. For me, for my kids, and for the chance to build something new out of the ashes of betrayal. The doctor's office is sterile and cold, the antiseptic smell clinging to everything. I sit on the edge of the examination table, my hands clammy with sweat. The nurse finishes drawing my blood for the STD test, and I try to push down the rising wave of nausea. Waiting for the results will be torture, but I have no choice. This is my reality now. Meanwhile, I arrange for the DNA tests. The lab technician explains the process, and I nod mechanically, my mind elsewhere. My anger towards Tom festers like an open wound. How could he betray me like this? I struggle to maintain my composure around the kids, who are blissfully unaware of the turmoil engulfing their lives. Days blur together as I go through the motions. Work is a distraction, but even there, my mind keeps drifting back to Sarah's betrayal. I avoid her as much as possible, the tension in the house palpable. When we do interact, it's terse and filled with unspoken accusations. The kids sense something is wrong, but they don't ask. They're too young to understand, and I'm grateful for that small mercy. The DNA test results come in on a gloomy Thursday afternoon. I sit at the kitchen table, the envelope in my hands feeling like a lead weight. Sarah sits across from me, her face pale. I open the envelope with trembling fingers, my heart pounding in my chest. The first result, our eldest is mine. Relief washes over me, but it's short-lived. The second result confirms my worst fear. Our youngest is Tom's. The ground shifts beneath me, and I feel like I'm falling into an abyss. I look up at Sarah, my vision blurred by tears. One of them isn't mine, I say, my voice hollow. Sarah breaks down, sobbing uncontrollably. I'm so sorry, Alex. I never wanted this to happen. The devastation is complete. I feel a cold, hard knot in my stomach. You destroyed us, I say, my voice barely above a whisper. Days pass in a haze. Jane confronts Tom, and their marriage begins to unravel. The confrontation is heated, voices raised and accusations flying. Tom tries to defend himself, but Jane is relentless. The betrayal cuts deep, and their once happy family is torn apart. The media catches wind of the scandal, and it becomes a public spectacle. Headlines scream about the affair, turning our private nightmare into a circus. I can't go anywhere without seeing our names splashed across the front pages. The humiliation is unbearable. Sarah and I continue to navigate the fallout. We meet with lawyers to discuss custody and divorce. Each meeting is a fresh wound, a reminder of what we've lost. The legal battles are draining, emotionally and financially. I focus on protecting the kids, trying to shield them from the worst of it. One evening, after another round of bitter negotiations, I confront Sarah. We're in the living room, the kids asleep upstairs. We need to talk about custody, I say, my voice tense. Sarah looks at me, her eyes red and swollen. I know. I want what's best for them, Alex. I nod, the anger simmering just below the surface. I want primary custody. You can have visitation rights, but they need stability. They need to be with me. Sarah's shoulders slump, the fight gone out of her. Okay, I'll agree to that. But please, let me be a part of their lives. The agreement is reached, but it doesn't feel like a victory. It's just another step in this painful process. I move into a small apartment nearby, trying to create a new normal for the kids. The silence in the apartment is deafening, a stark contrast to the life I once knew. Therapy becomes a lifeline. The sessions are tough, forcing me to confront the anger and grief. My therapist helps me navigate the emotional minefield, slowly rebuilding my sense of step feels like hammer caress. One evening, Jane calls me. Her voice is awful. As I listen, my heart unbelievable insights will get it through it. Somehow the candle has lasting effects on our social circle. Friends, the anxiety and relationships are strained. I focus on rebuilding for the kids who find a new rhythm, though the pain of betrayal lingers. Sarah and I establish her ending arrangement is not worth it. We children, it is a distant memory, but we manage to navigate the complexities of our new lives. One night, I sit alone in my apartment, the quiet pressing in on me. Think about the future, about how to move forward from here. No, but I feel a flicker of hope. I've survived the worst of it now, and about finding a way to live again despite everything. My bond with the girl grows stronger there. My ankle forward, we create new memories, slowly building a life that feels like ours. That has a heavy burden, but I'm learning to carry it. I start dating again, cautiously opening my heart to the possibility. The fear of betrayal always lurking in the background, but I refuse to let the mind define my future. Each new connection is a step towards healing, a chance to rebuild my life. Sarah, we navigate co-parenting with a careful style, avoiding further harm. The rest is gone, but we manage for the sake of the children. I focus on being the best father I can be, channeling my energy in their happiness. One day, Jane calls me. Her voice is softer, more at peace. Home and she says, it's been hard, but I think it's for the best. We talk for a while, sharing our pain and hopes for the future. The conversation is a reminder that we're not alone in this. Our families are broken, but we're finding ways to heal. As I hang up the phone, I feel a sense of closure. The journey isn't over, but I've taken the first steps towards reclaiming my life. The future is uncertain, but I face it with renewed determination. The nightmare isn't over, but I'm ready to fight for a better tomorrow. For me, for my kids, and for the chance to build something new out of the ashes of betrayal. Each day is a battle, but I'm learning to find moments of peace. The road to healing is long, but I'm determined to walk it. For the first time in months, I feel a glimmer of hope. The future is unwritten, and I'm ready to embrace whatever comes next. The emotional and legal battles are consuming my life. I spend hours with my lawyer, discussing the divorce, the custody arrangement, and every painful detail of Sarah's betrayal. My nights are sleepless, haunted by the thought of splitting the children between us. I can't imagine a life where I don't see them every day. Sarah begs for forgiveness. She pleads with me, tears streaming down her face, her voice cracking with desperation. Alex, please, can't we work this out? For the kids' sake. I shake my head, the anger boiling just beneath the surface. How can we? You destroyed our family. You slept with my best friend and lied about it for years. There's no coming back from that. She reaches for my hand, but I pull away. Her touch feels like poison. I love you, Alex. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. But we can get through this. We can go to therapy, try to rebuild. Her words feel hollow. The trust is gone, shattered beyond repair. I can't see past the betrayal, Sarah. Every time I look at you, I see the lies, the deceit. How am I supposed to move forward with that? The nights are the hardest. I lie awake, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. The thought of splitting the children keeps me up at night. I imagine them confused, torn between two homes. The pain is unbearable, but I have to protect them. I can't let Sarah's actions destroy their lives. One evening I confront Tom. We meet in a dingy bar, the air thick with smoke and the scent of stale beer. Tom looks worn, guilt etched into his face. He knows why I'm here. Why? I ask, my voice barely above a whisper. Why did you do it? Tom sighs, running a hand through his hair. It wasn't supposed to happen, Alex. It just did. Sarah was lonely. We were both drunk, and one thing led to another. I clenched my fists, struggling to keep my anger in check. You were my best friend, Tom. How could you betray me like this? He looks down, unable to meet my gaze. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what else to say. I messed up, big time. The silence stretches between us, heavy and suffocating. Finally, I find the words. Sarah told me you gave her the STD. Did you know about it? Tom's face pales. I found out later, after the affair had ended. I got tested, and when I realized, I told Sarah. She must have thought she was protecting you by not saying anything. I feel a fresh wave of disgust. You both put my health at risk. How am I supposed to forgive that? Tom shakes his head. I don't expect you to. I just wanted to apologize, for whatever it's worth. The confrontation leaves me feeling empty. There's no closure, no satisfaction in his apology, just a deep aching pain that refuses to go away. I walk out of the bar, the weight of the betrayal pressing down on me. The next day I meet with my lawyer again. The divorce proceedings are brutal, each side fighting for custody and assets. Sarah and I try to keep the kids out of it, but the tension is palpable. Every decision feels like a battle. Every agreement, a compromise. One afternoon, Sarah and I have a heated argument over the custody arrangement. I want the kids during the week, she says, her voice strained. You can have them on weekends. I shake my head. No, I want primary custody. They need stability, a routine. And after what you've done, you can't expect to have them most of the time. She glares at me, her eyes flashing with anger. You can't just take them away from me, Alex. I'm their mother. And I'm their father, I snap back. They need both of us. But you have to understand, you broke this family. I need to protect them. The argument escalates until we're both shouting, the kids cowering in their rooms. I realize this isn't helping anyone, especially not the children. I take a deep breath, trying to calm down. We need to figure this out for their sake, Sarah. They deserve better than this. We eventually reach a tentative agreement. I get primary custody, and Sarah has visitation rights. It's not perfect, but it's a start. The legal battles continue, draining both of us emotionally and financially. But we push through, determined to find a way forward. Throughout this turmoil, I seek solace in therapy. My therapist helps me navigate the storm of emotions, the anger, the hurt, the betrayal. Each session is a step towards healing, though the road is long and arduous. One night, after a particularly intense therapy session, I find myself thinking about the future. The idea of dating again seems impossible, yet part of me yearns for connection, for a chance to rebuild my life. But the fear of betrayal lingers, a constant shadow over my thoughts. Despite everything, my bond with the kids grows stronger. We develop new routines, new traditions. They are my anchor, my reason to keep going. Their laughter, their innocent questions, their unwavering love. They keep me grounded, reminding me of what truly matters. Sarah and I navigate co-parenting with cautious steps. The trust is gone, but we manage for the kids' sake. Every exchange, every decision is fraught with tension, but we make it work. For them. One evening, Jane calls me. Her voice is soft, filled with a mix of sorrow and determination. Tom and I are finalizing our separation, she says. It's been hard, but I think it's for the best. I listen, my heart heavy with empathy. I'm sorry, Jane. This whole mess. It's just unbelievable, she sighs. We'll get through it, somehow. How are you holding up? I pause, considering the question. It's tough, but I'm trying to focus on the kids, on creating a stable environment for them. We talk for a while, sharing our pain and hopes for the future. The conversation is a reminder that we're not alone in this. Our families are broken, but we're finding ways to heal. As I hang up the phone, I feel a sense of closure. The journey isn't over, but I've taken the first steps towards reclaiming my life. The future is uncertain, but I face it with renewed determination. The nightmare isn't over, but I'm ready to fight for a better tomorrow. For me, for my kids, and for the chance to build something new out of the ashes of betrayal. Each day is a battle, but I'm learning to find moments of peace. The road to healing is long, but I'm determined to walk it. For the first time in months, I feel a glimmer of hope. The future is unwritten, and I'm ready to embrace whatever comes next. One morning, as I watch the kids play in the park, I feel a sense of calm. The laughter, the joy on their faces, it's a reminder that life goes on, that there are still moments of beauty amidst the chaos. I sit on a bench, my thoughts drifting. I think about Sarah, about Tom, about the past. The pain is still there, a dull ache that never fully goes away, but it's manageable. I'm learning to live with it, to find a way forward. A woman sits down next to me, her smile warm and inviting. We strike up a conversation, and for the first time in a long while, I feel a spark of interest. It's tentative, cautious, but it's there. Maybe, just maybe, there's hope for a future beyond the betrayal. As the sun sets, casting a golden glow over the park, I watch the kids chase each other, their laughter echoing in the air. I take a deep breath, feeling the weight of the past slowly lifting. The road ahead is still uncertain, but I'm ready to face it. For my kids, for myself, for the chance at a new beginning. The nightmare has left its scars, but I'm stronger for it. I've learned to navigate the darkness, to find the light even in the bleakest moments. The journey is far from over, but I'm moving forward, one step at a time. The future holds many challenges, but also many possibilities. I'm ready to embrace it, to build a new life out of the wreckage of the old. The past will always be a part of me, but it doesn't define me. I am more than my pain, more than my betrayal. I am a father, a survivor, a man determined to find happiness again. As I walk back to the apartment with the kids, I feel a sense of peace. The road ahead is long, but I'm not alone. I have my children, my strength, and the promise of a new tomorrow. And that's enough. I decide to file for divorce. It's not an easy decision, but it's the only way forward. The well-being of my children comes first. I can't let them live in a house filled with anger and betrayal. The next morning, I meet with my lawyer and start the process. The paperwork is daunting, each page a reminder of the life I thought I had. The custody battles begin. Sarah and I face each other across a conference table, our lawyers by our sides. The tension is thick, every word a potential landmine. I want primary custody, I say firmly. The kids need stability, and with everything that's happened, I can provide that better. Sarah looks at me, her eyes red from crying. Alex, I made a mistake, but I'm still their mother. They need me too. We should share custody. Her lawyer chimes in, arguing for joint custody. The back and forth is exhausting, each side presenting its case. I focus on staying calm, knowing that losing my temper won't help. I think of the kids, their smiles, their laughter. They are what matter most. Days turn into weeks as the legal battle drags on. We eventually reach a compromise. I get primary custody, and Sarah gets generous visitation rights. It's not perfect, but it's a start. The court hearings are painful, every detail of our broken marriage laid bare. But we get through it, for the sake of our children. Throughout the process, I seek therapy. The sessions are intense, forcing me to confront my anger and pain. My therapist helps me navigate the emotional minefield, gradually rebuilding my sense of self. It's a long road, but each step feels like progress. One night, after putting the kids to bed, I sit alone in my apartment. The quiet is deafening. I think about Sarah, about Tom, about the life we had. The betrayal still stings, but I'm learning to live with it. The kids are my anchor. Their needs a constant reminder of what's important. I try to create a stable environment for them. We establish new routines, new traditions. It's not easy, but we find our rhythm. The divorce is finalized, and I feel a strange mix of relief and sadness. The chapter is closed, but the book isn't over. Sarah and I establish a co-parenting arrangement. It's awkward at first, every interaction tinged with the remnants of our past, but we make it work. The trust is gone, but we focus on the kids. They need both of us, and we are determined to give them the best life possible. As time passes, the wounds begin to heal. The kids adapt to the new arrangement, and I find solace in our bond. Each day is a reminder of the love we share, the resilience we possess. We move forward one step at a time. I start dating again, cautiously opening my heart to new possibilities. It's terrifying, the fear of betrayal always lurking. But I refuse to let the past define me. Each new connection is a chance to rebuild, to find happiness again. One evening, Sarah and I have a heart-to-heart. The kids are with her, and I sit across from her in the living room. "We need to talk," she says, her voice soft. I nod, feeling a knot in my stomach. "About what?" She takes a deep breath. "I know things will never be the same between us, but we need to find a way to co-parent without the anger. For the kids." I look at her, seeing the pain in her eyes. "You're right. They deserve better than this." We talk for hours, hashing out our differences, finding common ground. It's not easy, but it's necessary. By the end of the night, we have a tentative truce. We both agree to put the kids first, to move past the bitterness. The next day, I take the kids to the park. Watching them play, I feel a sense of peace. The road ahead is still uncertain, but I face it with renewed determination. The nightmare isn't over, but I'm ready to fight for a better tomorrow. As the weeks turn into months, I focus on creating a stable environment for the kids. We develop new routines, new traditions. I start dating again, cautiously opening my heart to new possibilities. It's difficult, the fear of betrayal always lurking. But I refuse to let the past define me. Each new connection is a step towards healing, a chance to rebuild my life. One afternoon, Jane calls me. Her voice is soft, filled with sorrow. "Tom and I are finalizing our separation," she says. "It's been hard, but I think it's for the best." I listen, my heart heavy. "I'm sorry, Jane. This whole mess, it's just unbelievable." She sighs. "We'll get through it, somehow. How are you holding up?" I pause, considering the question. It's tough, but I'm trying to focus on the kids, on creating a stable environment for them. We talk for a while, sharing our pain and hopes for the future. The conversation is a reminder that we're not alone in this. Our families are broken, but we're finding ways to heal. As I hang up the phone, I feel a sense of closure. The journey isn't over, but I've taken the first steps towards reclaiming my life. The future is uncertain, but I face it with renewed determination. The nightmare isn't over, but I'm ready to fight for a better tomorrow. For me, for my kids, and for the chance to build something new out of the ashes of betrayal. Each day is a battle, but I'm learning to find moments of peace. The road to healing is long, but I'm determined to walk it. For the first time in months, I feel a glimmer of hope. The future is unwritten, and I'm ready to embrace whatever comes next. The divorce is finalized, and I gain primary custody of my children. Sarah and I establish a co-parenting arrangement, though trust remains an issue. We navigate the complexities of our new lives, always focusing on what's best for the kids. It's not easy, but we make it work. One night, as I watch the kids sleep, I feel a sense of calm. The laughter, the joy on their faces, it's a reminder that life goes on, that there are still moments of beauty amidst the chaos. I sit on a bench, my thoughts drifting. I think about Sarah, about Tom, about the past. The pain is still there, a dull ache that never fully goes away. But it's manageable. I'm learning to live with it, to find a way forward. A woman sits down next to me, her smile warm and inviting. We strike up a conversation, and for the first time in a long while, I feel a spark of interest. It's tentative, cautious, but it's there. Maybe, just maybe, there's hope for a future beyond the betrayal. As the sun sets, casting a golden glow over the park, I watch the kids chase each other, their laughter echoing in the air. I take a deep breath, feeling the weight of the past slowly lifting. The road ahead is still uncertain, but I'm ready to face it. For my kids, for myself, for the chance at a new beginning. The nightmare has left its scars, but I'm stronger for it. I've learned to navigate the darkness, to find the light even in the bleakest moments. The journey is far from over, but I'm moving forward one step at a time. The future holds many challenges, but also many possibilities. I'm ready to embrace it, to build a new life out of the wreckage of the old. The past will always be a part of me, but it doesn't define me. I am more than my pain, more than my betrayal. I am a father, a survivor, a man determined to find happiness again. As I walk back to the apartment with the kids, I feel a sense of peace. The road ahead is long, but I'm not alone. I have my children, my strength, and the promise of a new tomorrow. And that's enough. I decide it's time to confront Tom one last time. I need closure, to hear him admit everything and apologize. We meet at a secluded coffee shop away from prying eyes and curious ears. As I walk in, I see him sitting at a corner table, looking haggard. I take a deep breath and approach him. "Tom," I say, my voice steady but cold. He looks up, guilt etched on his face. "Alex," he replies, his voice barely above a whisper. I sit down, the silence between us heavy. "Why?" I ask, cutting straight to the point. Tom sighs, rubbing his face with his hands. "I don't know, Alex. It just happened. I never meant for it to go this far." Anger flares within me, but I keep my composure. "You destroyed my family. You betrayed me, Sarah and Jane. Do you have any idea what you've done?" He looks down, unable to meet my eyes. "I know. I've lost everything because of my actions. I'm sorry, Alex. I truly am." His apology rings hollow, but it's something. "I need to know one thing," I say, leaning forward. "Did Sarah initiate the affair?" Tom hesitates, then nods. "Yes, she did. But I didn't stop it. I'm just as much to blame." His words are a punch to the gut, but I feel a sense of release. The truth is out. I stand up, feeling the weight of the past months lifting slightly. "I hope you find a way to make things right with Jane," I say before turning and walking away. The conversation leaves me feeling drained but lighter. I've faced the man who betrayed me and gotten the answers I needed. Now it's time to focus on rebuilding my life. I call Jane that evening, sensing she needs someone to talk to as much as I do. We meet at a small, quiet bar. She looks tired, her eyes reflecting the same pain I feel. "How are you holding up?" I ask, ordering us both a drink. Jane sighs, swirling her glass. "It's been hard. Tom's betrayal cut deep, but I'm taking it one day at a time." I nod, understanding her struggle. "I confronted him today, got some closure. It helped." We talk for hours, sharing our pain and hopes for the future. It's a cathartic conversation, helping us both navigate the turmoil. By the end of the night, we're laughing over old memories, the first genuine smiles we've shared in months. The scandal has lasting effects on our social circles. Friends take sides, and some relationships are strained. But I focus on rebuilding, determined to create a stable environment for my kids. They are my priority, their happiness my guiding star. I start dating again, cautiously opening my heart to the possibility of new relationships. It's terrifying, the fear of betrayal always lurking, but I refuse to let the past define me. Each new connection is a step towards healing, a chance to rebuild my life. One evening, I meet a woman named Lisa at a friend's party. She's smart, funny, and kind. We hit it off, and I feel a spark of interest for the first time in a long while. We start seeing each other, taking things slow. It's refreshing, the sense of new beginnings. Sarah and I continue to navigate co-parenting with careful steps. The trust is gone, but we focus on the kids. Every exchange, every decision is fraught with tension, but we make it work for them. One night, Sarah calls me. Her voice is soft, filled with regret. "Alex, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry for everything." I'm silent for a moment, the weight of her words sinking in. "Thank you, Sarah. It means a lot. Let's keep focusing on the kids. They need us to be strong." We hang up, and I feel a sense of peace. The nightmare isn't over, but we're finding a way to coexist for the sake of our children. The kids adapt to the new arrangement, and I find solace in our bond. Each day is a reminder of the love we share, the resilience we possess. We move forward one step at a time. As the weeks turn into months, the wounds begin to heal. The kids adapt to the new arrangement, and I find solace in our bond. Each day is a reminder of the love we share, the resilience we possess. We move forward one step at a time. Lisa becomes a bigger part of my life. She meets the kids, and they take to her quickly. She's patient and understanding, never pushing too hard. Our relationship grows, built on trust and mutual respect. One afternoon, I take the kids to the park. Watching them play, I feel a sense of peace, the laughter, the joy on their faces. It's a reminder that life goes on, that there are still moments of beauty amidst the chaos. I sit on a bench, my thoughts drifting. I think about Sarah, about Tom, about the past. The pain is still there, a dull ache that never fully goes away. But it's manageable. I'm learning to live with it, to find a way forward. Jane calls me, her voice lighter than I've heard in months. "I'm seeing someone," she says, a hint of excitement in her tone. "That's great, Jane. You deserve happiness." She sighs, a sound of relief. "Thank you, Alex. We both do." Our conversation is a reminder that healing is possible, that life goes on. We share our hopes for the future, and I feel a sense of optimism. As the sun sets, casting a golden glow over the park, I watch the kids chase each other, their laughter echoing in the air. I take a deep breath, feeling the weight of the past slowly lifting. The road ahead is still uncertain, but I'm ready to face it. For my kids, for myself, for the chance at a new beginning. The nightmare has left its scars, but I'm stronger for it. I've learned to navigate the darkness, to find the light even in the bleakest moments. The journey is far from over, but I'm moving forward one step at a time. The future holds many challenges, but also many possibilities. I'm ready to embrace it, to build a new life out of the wreckage of the old. The past will always be a part of me, but it doesn't define me. I am more than my pain, more than my betrayal. I am a father, a survivor, a man determined to find happiness again. As I walk back to the apartment with the kids, I feel a sense of peace. The road ahead is long, but I'm not alone. I have my children, my strength, and the promise of a new tomorrow. And that's enough. The past few months have been a whirlwind of emotions. As I sit on the porch watching the kids play in the yard, I reflect on the journey from betrayal to healing. It's been tough, but I've learned so much about myself and the strength I possess. Filing for divorce was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made. It forced me to confront the reality of my shattered marriage and the impact it had on my children. I've spent countless hours in therapy, working through my anger and pain. My therapist has helped me see that it's okay to feel hurt, to grieve the loss of the life I thought I had. One of the most important lessons I've learned is the importance of self-care. I've started running again, finding solace in the rhythmic pounding of my feet on the pavement. It's a time for me to clear my head, to think about the future and what I want for myself and my children. I've also taken up cooking, discovering a new passion for creating healthy, delicious meals for us. The divorce proceedings were bitter and drawn out, but ultimately I gained primary custody of the kids. Sarah and I established a co-parenting arrangement. It's not perfect, and trust is still an issue, but we're making it work for the sake of the children. They need both of us, and despite everything, I want them to have a good relationship with their mother. Navigating the aftermath of the scandal has been challenging. Friends and family took sides, and some relationships were strained. But through it all, I've focused on rebuilding. I've started dating again, cautiously opening my heart to new possibilities. Lisa has been a constant source of support, her warmth and understanding helping me heal. One evening, as we sit on the porch, Lisa takes my hand. "You've come so far, Alex. I'm proud of you." I squeeze her hand, feeling a surge of gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without you." She smiles, her eyes shining with love. We're in this together, one step at a time. My relationship with the kids has deepened. We've created new routines and traditions, finding joy in the little things. They are resilient, their laughter a reminder of the light in the darkest moments. We've become a team, supporting each other through the ups and downs. One afternoon, Jane calls me. Her voice is filled with hope. "I've met someone new, Alex. He's wonderful." I smile, genuinely happy for her. "That's great, Jane. You deserve to be happy." She sighs, a sound of relief. "Thank you. We both do." We talk for a while, sharing our hopes for the future. It's a reminder that healing is possible, that life goes on despite the pain. As the sun sets, casting a warm glow over the yard, I watch the kids chase each other, their laughter filling the air. I take a deep breath, feeling the weight of the past lifting. The road ahead is still uncertain, but I'm ready to face it with renewed determination. The nightmare has passed, leaving scars but also lessons. I've learned to navigate the darkness, to find the light even in the bleakest moments. The journey is far from over, but I'm moving forward, one step at a time. The future holds many challenges, but also many possibilities. I'm ready to embrace it, to build a new life out of the wreckage of the old. The past will always be a part of me, but it doesn't define me. I am more than my pain, more than my betrayal. I am a father, a survivor, a man determined to find happiness again. One evening, as I tuck the kids into bed, my daughter looks up at me, her eyes filled with trust. "Daddy, are we going to be okay?" I smile, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Yes, sweetie, we're going to be just fine." As I close the door to their room, I feel a sense of peace. The road ahead is long, but I'm not alone. I have my children, my strength, and the promise of a new tomorrow. And that's enough. Life is unpredictable, filled with unexpected twists and turns. But I've learned to embrace the uncertainty, to find joy in the present moment. The future is unwritten, but I'm ready to write my own story, one filled with hope, resilience, and love. As I sit back on the porch, Lisa joins me, her presence a comforting balm. We sit in silence, watching the stars twinkle in the night sky. There's a sense of calm, a feeling that everything is going to be okay. The journey from betrayal to healing has been long and arduous, but I've come out the other side stronger and more resilient. I've learned to navigate the challenges, to find light in the darkness. And as I look toward the future, I see endless possibilities. The nightmare has passed, leaving behind a stronger, wiser version of myself. I'm ready to embrace the next chapter of my life, filled with renewed faith and resilience. The road ahead is uncertain, but I'm ready to face it with hope and determination. The past will always be a part of me, but it no longer defines me. I am a father, a survivor, a man who has found the strength to move forward. And as I hold Lisa's hand, I know that I am not alone. Together, we will face whatever comes our way with love, hope, and resilience. The future is bright, filled with endless possibilities, and I'm ready to embrace it, one step at a time.